So I woke up Saturday morning to a text from my buddy, and he's like, "Hey, I think I pissed Lily off." And I was like, "All right." But based on the spelling of it, it wasn't my kid. It was this person that came from the server I just quit. One of several that came from that server. And so I went and looked, and I don't remember how it started exactly, but my buddy was like, it started with like something, 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 and my buddy's like, "Your mom's something, something, something." And something's like, "That's an ugly thing to say." Lily's like, "That's an ugly thing to say." And my buddy's like, "You're an ugly thing to say." I know he's kidding. He thought he was talking to my kid, because my kid would just respond, "Your mom's an ugly thing to say, fuck you." And then they would giggle. But she is not my daughter. She is a grown-ass adult that acts like a little kid. And sure did act like a little kid. And I knew this. I knew all this. I just didn't think it would be that big of a problem. I figured she'd look at the way my voice channels in my server are like other servers I've had, where like it says like one voice channel is McChicken Fuckfest, one channel is Hot Dog Hallway. You get it? So it's a vulgar place, but apparently that didn't translate, or they just blocked it out and didn't think about it. I don't know. So I explained, I know this guy for fucking, what, 10, 15 years, 20 years? I don't even know. Could be 20 years. Probably 15 years. Like, I 100% assure you, he's joking. That's a horrible thing to say when you first meet somebody. I was like, yeah, that's, on one hand, that's true, but on the other hand, you got to realize you're new here. You don't, like, they're both sides here. You're new here. So, I mean, I understand you're upset, but you shouldn't be upset. And it's my fault too. It's my fault for not making it clear. We're vulgar here. We joke around vulgarly. It's all love. It's all love. Don't worry about it. Take everything positively. I mean, unless it's like some pointed personal shit, or somebody's being racist or homophobic or attacking groups, but we don't do that. There's a line. There's a really thick line. And didn't matter what was said. Now, you don't say that when you first meet somebody. It's like you don't know where you are. So I made an intro page. Like, it took me like fucking hours. I didn't realize there's gonna be this much that went into it. So when you enter, you have to answer like, are you comfortable with profanity and sarcasm? Yes or no. If you answer no, you only get to see one channel called Safe Space. And I'm not sorry. That's if you this isn't for you. I'll make a Safe Space channel. I'll even talk in it with real soft kitty gloves like I did on Echoes. But I love those trucks. I know they're built like shit. If it was a price point that reflected being built like shit, I'd buy one. But anyway, damn. Like, she was just dead set. Didn't matter. I'm offended. I don't care. I don't care about any new information. Okay, that's fine. So I made some, made very, very clear. And then she added a new layer, and she's like, you need to make a content warning and trigger warning channel. I'm like, what? Yeah, I was like, that's going to be really hard to enforce, because we ride the line. I mean, I get up people's ass. Do not post rape and child abuse and gore and porn. Don't do that. But what I'm willing to do, which makes more sense, is add a stipulation, like it was 2.5, because it fit in there and I wasn't renumbering shit. And I added the rule, if you're posting something that you know is triggering or content, if it's got strobing lights or fucking dead animals or gore or anything is gonna be spousal abuse or anything like that. All of this is shit that I never see on my servers. Well, I was like, I'll put that in there, and if you could please put a spoiler on it, and then mark why you put a spoiler on it. And she's like, no, you have to make a channel. Like, what? Like, you have to make a channel, because then it all goes in there and you can choose not to see it. I was like, you're already choosing not to see it with a spoiler warning. Yeah, but you got to be able to choose not to see it altogether. It's like, well, number one, it's going to be hard to. It's still going to show up everywhere. Like, if it's going to show up, they're not going to remember there's a channel. They're not going to care. People that post that shit don't fucking care. First of all, second of all, it's gonna be like policing all over the place. Well, this is still part of the first part, so I'm gonna have to redirect people to go on that channel. And the problem I've had with channels like that, they've had channels for profanity. It seemed like every day, like conversations, like we got to move into that channel. Like conversations would constantly being broke up. I posted that in that channel. It's in that channel over there. Nobody's going to go look at that. But it's more acceptable if you just have people put the spoiler shit on it wherever the conversation's happening. There's multiple channels. And I know how I am. I know how my friends are. We would all just talk. I mean, I'll come talk to people in the other channels, but we would mostly just talk in the trigger warning channel. I've been places like that too. Like anything vulgar, whatever goes in that channel. Almost the whole guild lived in that channel. And we would post some terrible shit to each other. Nothing that involved like rape or child stuff, but some pretty horrible stuff. Probably gore. Probably, definitely gore. Definitely like blue waffle shit, shock stuff, shit to shock each other. And we ended up not doing that anymore because, like, 2 Girls, 1 Cup was bad for me. I hated that. I don't like weird shit in my mouth. I certainly don't like shit in the mouth. That was chocolate mousse. I don't care. It came out of their butt. There was fecal matter on that. But anyway. And they puked it in each other's mouths after. My stomach's getting upset just thinking about it. It's terrible. So I was like, we're just going to make it so they do it everywhere. Like they put the spoiler warning on it. So that's not good enough. And I need to make it so you can just choose not to see it. Well, you're choosing not to see it. Like, she was bound determined she was going to find some way to, put a thing that ultimately wasn't going to... If I would have done that, I think she would have found something else. Like, just say this. If she just would have said, "This server is not for me," fine. I totally get that. I totally get that. I am very well aware the type of server that I'm comfortable in is not the type of server most people are comfortable in, because the majority of people want the, oh my God, that's edgy, he said something PG-13. It's so crazy. So I was talking to, and in the middle of it all, before it even got to the content warning, trigger warning demand that I made. Oh, and then when I said I'm not making a channel, I'm doing it server wide. Well, it needs to be a channel. That's so crazy. That's a big ass truck driving like that. I guess it doesn't matter. Any car doing that's stupid. That truck seems extra stupid. But anyway, before it even got to trigger warning, content warning, whatever, the guy that I've talked to the most on that server for a month or two, probably 2 months, 3 months, I don't know. At least 2 solid months. A little bit more than 2 solid months. He was like, I can't say anything. I gotta just shut up. He was drinking on Saturday night. That's fine. I totally get it. I'll say stuff I don't really mean to say when I'm drinking. That's cool, that's fine. So I just quit talking to him about it. And in the middle of that Saturday night, by the way, she said some things like about this makes me uncomfortable and blah 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 and this. I'm like, wow, that sounds an awful lot like when I got that warning. And then another thing, right after I got that warning, the way something she said sounded like, oh, I didn't want you to leave the server. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean you didn't want me to? Like, are you behind this? Are you involved in this fucking warning? Because this is a stupid fucking warning. So then I just quit talking to her about it because I didn't want to know. Because like I told the other guy involved, I like her. That's why I invited her here. She's one of the people I talk to some. Like, they're nice. I showed them around. They're like the only person that came down that I gave a tour to my base. So I added to the rules and I made a whole login screen to show people, like, look, this is what we're about here. Just like people make all that shit, like, we have little kids here, we don't want any kind of anything negative or cussing or whatever. I respect that. I don't even join those servers. I know how I am. Those servers aren't for me. Those servers are for soccer moms that make a big deal when their kid says damn. Not my place. I stay away from there. If I get there and it's a hardcore role-playing server, that's cool. I love the people like that. I'm not going there. Like, there's a Star Trek server I played on where I know people see that's fucking lame and don't play there. That's fine. I like it. There are servers that you ain't gonna fit in, and there are servers that you will fit in. So I made it clear what kind of server I'm trying to build. I should have done that to begin with. That's my fault. I understand that. So I made a lot of infrastructure for that. A whole new set of rules, a whole new information page, a whole login process. We have to look at stuff and whatever. So that came out of it in the beginning, and then the addition to the rules where it says please put a spoiler on the shit, so people, just, be cool. We cuss and all that too, but if there's like anything very specific to content warnings or trigger warnings, but I didn't say both those because I had to cut it down. Like, please put a spoiler on it. That wasn't good enough for her. She said, and I swear to God, she said, without a trigger warning or content warning, specifically channel, I don't feel safe. And it's like, you're just fucking crazy. And I tried to explain, it's gonna pop up with the same frequency with or without the channel. And if there's a spoiler on it, you don't have to see it anyway. Just don't click the spoiler. What are you talking about? Nope, don't feel safe. Don't feel safe. I wish they would have just said. This is not the server for me. I don't fit here. Fine. No problem. No problem. But trying to force illogical changes, fuck off. Fuck off. You just got here. There's already drama. And I understand he shouldn't have said that, not knowing, and he really should have said, I'm really only kidding. I'm sorry if I offended you. Really should have said that shit. But he thought he was talking to my kid, I guess. And it's impossible to know if you're talking to her or not, because she changes her name every 2 weeks. So I was distraught Saturday and even more so Sunday. And I told Pimp when she was like, I was showing him screenshots like, look, this is like, am I wrong? This is crazy, right? Trying to dictate a fucking channel get added, and then I go above that and apply that everywhere. And she just totally being unreasonable. And he's like, with all due respect, blah, 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 I don't want to comment. I'm like, with all due respect, fuck you. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you won't even fucking comment on it? That's even worse than saying it's all me. If it's all me, tell me it's all fucking me. And I want to understand. Explain. What do you mean it's all me? I've made 2 changes just on the weekend. Big fucking changes compared to how it was. Like, the trigger warning, I think that's excessive. If you need those kind of bumpers, stay the fuck off the internet. Only go to places that clearly are like you want to go to. Like, what are you doing in a place with channels like fucking Hot Dog Hallway and McChicken Fuckfest? And I think one's called Pants Off Dance Off. And there's a couple more I can't remember the name of. Like, dude. And he's like, I'm not the enemy. I'm like, no. I'm like, you're not my friend. Like, if you can't even talk like, we had fucking dozens and dozens of conversations about a couple other people where it was problematic. But I made it clear I fucking like her too. That's why I'm so bothered. Like, if I didn't like him, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd like, just leave. I don't give a fuck. But wouldn't even talk about it. That really pissed me off. It's like, if you can't even approach a subject that's like this, tell me I'm overreacting. So I was really distraught about that shit. And I like at 3 p.m. I'm so depressed. Like, I just, because then I kicked everybody out. The last 4 people. The first 2 people that came there, I put all this shit on my server I didn't want, because it causes lag, and it did cause lag. and it caused stability issues. And the first time the server crashed with all that shit on there, I didn't even want to put Magic on there. That got put on there because I know it's a server stability issue. Don't worry, I've turned my turn signal on a mile back too. And then they quit playing. Like, they use creative mode to build both their bases, him and his friend. They use creative mode to build their bases. Like, I didn't give you creative mode for that. I gave you creative mode to help build the town with me. Because we wanted to build, like, some, you know, shops and shit. And then they quit. It's like, dude, we fucked up my server, and then you quit. And then your friend was complaining there's lag. Yeah, there's only lag at your base. Because this fucking electric, you put too much electric shit, and that's what it does. So I kicked all of them out. And then by 3 p.m. I was, because like, fuck you then. If all I'm going to get is trouble from all you guys, well, I'm noticing, I don't want you here. And then I woke up after that nap at 3 p.m. I woke up at like 6 or 7 or whatever, and I was like, I have to burn my base down on echoes. I know I gave it to the guy that said with all due respect. So I burned that down. I burned the crops. I burned the fucking berries. I let out the fucking animals. I destroyed all my fucking machines and steel production. Fuck you. Fuck all y'all motherfuckers.